I mean, it's D&D for puppies and kitties, right? Like, of course I'm in. Hi friends, I'm Billy King from Roll for Booty, and today we are reviewing Animal Adventures. It's a brand new adventure from Steamworks. It comes with a bunch of new additions to 5e, including a new campaign setting called Gullet Cove. Finally, we're able to roleplay as our family pets. The new Animal Adventures comes with a whole new set of rules to stab your dog or your cat. And we finally get to answer, well, I get to answer a question I've had for a long time. Is Duke a barbarian? Oh, what do you say, Pooch? Are you a barbarian? No. Now, I know I was excited when this came out. Steamworks has put out a bunch of dope stuff that me and my friends have backed almost immediately. Steamworks themselves are completely dope. I've backed them multiple times. I definitely will also in the future. New director chair. It's okay. It goes boom. Now, the new core book comes with tons of additions. Obviously, it comes with 2 new races, Awakened Dogs and Awakened Cats, but it also comes with a huge list of class changes. Instead of making brand new classes, they've added to or somehow swapped out old abilities that completely stops you from having to relearn an entire new book. Now, they also added tons of background and lore, especially in religion. In this video, we're going to go over the dogs more, and in the next video, we'll go over the cats. We'll go and break down all the new racial additions as well as the new class additions.
The dogs are what you would expect. Fun-loving, smart at times, but almost obsessed with friendship. They naturally seek out adventure and instinctually assist others hoping to be part of the pack. Dog races are different. They go by breed sizes instead. So you have your choice of big dog, lap dog, or regular dog, each altering your ability score choices respectively. Being a big dog increases your con by 1, being a regular dog increases your strength, and the small boys get a dex score increased by 1. All sizes are considered to be medium size except for the lap dog, which is small. Obs. Ages between 10 and 15 years with a walking speed of 30. All dogs can speak Common, Canine, and 1 more additional language. They all get keen senses, but it's a little different. They all have advantage on perception checks when it comes to smelling and hearing, but disadvantage on perception checks if it has anything to do with figuring out colors. They get a natural attack with their bite action, which counts as both a weapon and unarmed attack. It starts with a d6, then increases to d8 and 10 with their level, and uses their strength as the modifier. Now, to make your puppo even more special, all dogs get to choose 1 ability from a long list of breed abilities, and I absolutely love this list. It totally helps you ground in your role playing as a specific dog breed, and some of these are actually really rad. And of course, some of them are duds, but hey, that's how some of these things work. And I find that the duds actually really help making role playing a lot more fun. Now let's take a look to see what our furry family can do now that we supplied them with weapons and magic. Barbarians. These beefy boys get an ability called Alpha of the Pack. In addition to their level 1 skill, you get to use this to do more damage equal to your bite attack if you move 20 feet before you make the attack action. At 7th, instead of Feral Instinct, you get Grim Resistance, which lets you choose resistance either from cold or fire damage. And at 15th, instead of Persistent Rage, you can have Savage Howl, echoing the hunting packs of your ancestors on each turn while you're raging. If you hit someone with an attack, you can then inspire an ally 30 feet from you to do an additional d10 damage. Bards. How do they play instruments? No idea, let's just go with it. You get a whole new college choice, the College of Amity. It's a college of no college. You picked up things you've seen and kinda just went with it. Starts off with the bonus proficiency in any skill, and you get constitution proficiencies in checks and saves. At 3rd, with a little help from your friends, when someone uses your bardic inspiration dice successfully, with a bonus action from you, you can then pass that inspiration to another friend 30 feet from you. The dice has to be used on their next roll, and it can be passed again. At 6th, we get Howling Melody. Lets us cast Charm Person and Dissonant Whispers once per short rest without using a slot or even preparing them. And at 14th, I'll Scratch Yours lets us potentially save an ally who's dropped to 0 hit points if they pass a con save. Passing that lets them stay up with 1 hit point, but this can only be used once a rest. Clerics are devout followers of the dog god, the Good Mother. She's a lovely dog of many breeds depending on who you talk to, and she prioritizes keeping all her children safe and cared for. The goal of every religious dog is to meet her at the Great Hearth, an internally warm and safe place that every dog returns to if they're good boys. If they're not good boys, they're lost forever looking for a way home to rest in front of the fire in the safety of their mother. Gosh, that's making me emotional. Okay, dog clerics get a new domain, the new domain of compassion. Spells include Guiding Bolt, Healing Word at 1, Aid and Calm Emotions at 3, Beacon of Hope and Mass Healing Word at 5, Death Ward Locate Creature at 7, and Gaze and Greater Restoration at 9. Starting off with the aspect of the amicable, Preachy Boys get advantage on charisma-based checks at level 1. Channel Divinity comes with Invoke Companionship, allowing you to choose anyone 30 feet from you to gain temporary hit points equal to your level. And at 6, we also get to be able to inspire an ally with 30 feet with Lifted Spirits, giving them advantage on any kind of ones kind of saving throw, but for an entire minute. 8th level, we have Divine Bite, adding a d8 of extra damage to our bites and 2d8s at 14th level. And at 17th, we get Leader of the Pact. Twice a day as a bonus action, you can delegate one creature to do anything you want them to do on their next turn. No save, bingo bango, you doing it. Now the Grass Puppies get some extra stuff. At 6th level, in place of a circle ability, we get to choose Nature's Own, allowing us to use Animal Messenger as a cantrip so we can actually go full Disney princess. At 10th level, we get the option to swap in Kin of the Wind, allowing us to choose 2 types of damage to be resistant to, as well as being completely immune to poison damage. 14th, we end up having the Bond of the Wildborn. Once a day, we can call out to the nothing around us and ask for help. The DM then gets to choose a group of 1d6 beasts to appear in 2 turns with a CR rating equal to your wild shape halved. Your new friends will fight for you and help you until it's over or until the task you give them is completed. Then they're free. Hey, if they got teeth, they bite. The fighter gets 2 new abilities they can swap in for instead of the ones it comes with. Instead of Action Surge, you can have Fangs of the Wolf. Whenever you score a critical hit, you then get to attack again as a free action. And remember, you don't have to swap these new abilities in. At 9th, instead of Indomitable, you have Pack Fighter. Once per short rest, if you are by allies 10 feet from you, you can have a +2 to your AC for an entire minute. While not the most popular class, the monks totally nail it by adding the Way of the Striking Tail Path. At level 3, you can spend 3 key points to cast the spells Healing Word, Purify Food and Drink, or Sanctuary without components, and you also get the Mage Hand cantrip. But at 6th level, you can launch the famous Forepaw Strike. After you make an attack, you can spend 2 key points to make 4 unarmed attacks as a bonus action. Absolutely cracked, hardcore, yes queen, love it, love it. I will be absolutely taking advantage of this. With level 11, we have Wisdom of Playfulness. Once a long rest, you can use an action and spend 1 key point per person to have them get one of the following benefits. You can have resistance to 1 type of damage, immunity to fear, or for 1 hour, advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. Closing with Balance of the Tail at level 17, you can spend 5 key points to expel all bad vibes and cast Globe of Vulnerability at 7th level. Dog Monk Slap, love them very much. At level 1, the boys with the most honor get Bark of Protection in addition to their other paladin abilities. Any evil creature within 10 feet have to make a charisma save or their next attack is at disadvantage, and they can do that once a long rest. At 4th, instead of an ability score improvement, they can take Devoted to the Pack. When they use their Channel Divinity, addition to what happens then, they can make one ally 30 feet from them immune to fear for an entire minute. At 14th, instead of taking Cleansing Touch, we can have Loyal to the Last, preventing a friendly creature 20 feet from us from dying and allowing us to use Lay on Hands as a reaction and a ranged ability twice per long rest. Super dope. Ranger is probably the most dog of all the dogs. Instead of giving us Primeval Awareness, we can have Scent on the Wind. It allows us to detect the scent and location of any enemy within a mile on a DC 14 perception check. At 8th, it lets us swap out Landstride for Guide of the Pack. It does a few things. It allows the whole group to sneak at full pace, doubles the amount of food foraged, double that again if you forage alone, and you can learn the exact size, number, alignment, and level of the creature that you've been tracking. With 14th, you can take Apex Predator instead of Vanish. Once a short rest, if you reduce a target to 0 hit points, you can grant 3 allies within 30 feet advantage on their next attack roll. You also get advantage. Now, when my dogs are quiet, that's usually a sign that something terrible happened. Rogues at level 2 can swap out Cunning action for Silent Paws, letting us take a free hide action every time we dash. Instead of Uncanny Dodge at 5, we can have Shadow Paws. If you sneak attack someone, you can then move 10 feet in a direction without taking opportunity attacks. And at 11th level, instead of Reliable Talent, we can have Ankle Cutter. It allows us, once per long rest, to drop an enemy speed to 0 until they make a con save against our dex mod. Now, the Dog Sorcerer's abilities alter the Wild Magic bloodline. Starting off, additional to your other abilities, you have Buried in the Veil at level 1. Once per long rest, you could bury an object no bigger than a foot into an extra dimensional hole only to be treated by you with the bonus action. You can stuff as many things in there as your charisma mod is. Instead of Bend Luck at 6th level, you can have Supportive Spell. When you successfully cast a spell that affects an enemy, you can spend a sorcery point to give an ally advantage on an attack roll against that same enemy. With 14th, you can have Relentless Energy instead of Controlled Chaos. Basically, it allows you to always be one level lower on the exhaustion table. Now this one's pretty interesting. I guess there are some Archfey who just love dogs apparently. They've created a special little pact for their Fey Doggy Warlocks. At level 1, you can have Fey Friend, letting you cast Find Familiar without components once a long rest. Regardless of what creature you summon, it just looks like a little smaller version of you. At 10th level, we have Netherhound, letting you call your mini-me twice a day, and it acts with the same properties as Invoke Duplicity, meaning that you can cast your spells from its position. With 14th closing the gap, we have Obey, letting us use Dominate Person twice a long rest, not using a slot. Totally rad. And lastly, the dogs who worked for their magic, unlike other casters, Wizard Doggos at level 1 can cast Detect Good and Evil as a bonus cantrip. 10th level, instead of their school feature, they can have Familiar Friends, letting them make their own friends up without needing a spell book, bringing the casting time to a minute and the cost only to a gold. Sadly, they only live for an hour.
There's tons of things you can do with these dogs, and I'm super excited to hear what you guys can come up with. Go ahead and go to the comments and show me the best min-max dog build that you can think of. We're going to go over cats over the next video. It should be out the day after this is posted. We're also going to be doing a live play test on the adventure, the first section of the Gullet Cove on Twitch. The 11th of September is coming up Monday at 5 p.m. Yeah, that's it. You can find us on Roll for Booty if you don't hit the link below to take you straight to Twitch. And hey, I saw you looking at my shirt. You can get one yourself. Go ahead and go to www.rollforbooty.com. We got tons of t-shirts. They're all LGBT or D&D inspired. Most of them are less than $10. And you can get even 10% off more if you use the code CRITROLL at checkout. So, you know, do it. Or no, I'm not your mom.